Right. What's up, gang? Welcome to, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3. Okay. What's up, gang? Welcome to Fight the Funk podcast. This is not live. This is live. This ain't supposed to be live. Shoot. All right. Whatever. All right. I'm gonna talk about a few things. I really wish this was not live, but we gonna work through it. So, this podcast is titled Essentialism and Tupac and ScarFace Smile. And one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is honoring what makes you feel whole, happy, and healthy. And one of ScarFace's quotes is in that song is, "A man without a focused life will drive him insane." And I think that's to me, our society is creates that, like it breeds that um, that scattered focus, and that we're going to try to get you all over the place and try to get you where you're doing too many things, which is great, if you have a healthy team. Like I remember Tony Robbins or something I heard where he was like a part of 80 something businesses and business interests, and it's a ridiculous amount of things he's involved in. Um, and but he has the years of building up to that point, and I think that's where any people that aspire to do a lot of things and have many talents is like one of the things, my own wisdom as I get older is that, kind of for me, less is more, and less is in until that the you can build to a place where it's healthy to do more. I think that's where it's like you have to build towards a like a Tony Robbins, or whoever does a lot of business and a lot of like work in the community. It's like it takes time to get to that place where you can do it from a healthy place, and you're not just always depleted or empty. And you're like, I ain't got nothing else to give, and it's like, you don't. That's the worst, because then it starts leading to resentment, if you're just giving, giving, giving. And I think that's where that Scarface, and Tupac, that Smile song comes in, um, where there's a lot of wisdom, man, a lot of wisdom. And the book I always come back to is Essentialism, because you can only focus on so many things before other things go by the wayside. And what are you going to focus on is so important to well-being. Uh, and this weekend, I've had my auntie passed away this weekend, and so helping uh, my loved ones, helping my mom mourn, and in that process of what these next few weeks are going to be. Um, it's it also brings me to the idea of what are people fighting for? It's like, because I always said, fight, when we fight, we win, and that's a big chant. In my mind, I'm a builder, so I build and contribute, and try to create, and bring things from a vision, and then help contribute to create that vision, um, and restorative justice, and things that move society forward. So, like my auntie, when she passes away, it makes me think of her life and things that my mother has told me about her life, um, and 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 how that, and dealing with the environment of COVID, and COVID and anti-vax, and I'm not being vaccinated, and yeah, and well, let's get vaccinated, and um, I kind of just focus on one part of the, um, 'cause like I don't want to get into the, it's family and family business, but I will say that one of the things that disturbed me was the rumor that I heard was that everybody know within the first 3 years, if you get vaccinated, you die. And that's the kind of thing where I'm like, it's the it's the blatant lies that we can't, tolerate. Like it's the um, like whoever created that rumor, um, that was completely self. That was it's like that's from a place of I want control. I want to whatever this small city or whatever this group. I'm going to create this fear amongst them, so they will keep going in my direction. It's like that the fear based rumors are just it's like there's no room for alternative facts. Like and that to me is like all those years ago now, like that was like a precursor to where we've arrived to. When you see somebody at the podium and say something so blatantly true was not true and is alternative fact, it's like that's where we live in now. Like the idea that if you everybody knows if you get vaccinated you die within 3 years. It's like who came up with that shit? Like who comes up with these very toxic rumors that people run with, and then it takes so much time to try to get things back under control that they have already done the harm that they already done the harm, and damage is done. Nobody pays for the rumor. Like that dude. I want to know that dude that spread the rumor about when the pandemic first hit. Somebody put a rumor out that uh, black people are immune to the virus. Um, and look and it's like who set like to set that tone, like the all these different, it's just something that just go out into the ether, and then um that's blatantly, it's like it's blatantly false, but it governs some people's decision making, and that's where I'm like, it's like I don't get back and forth. I'm not going to demonize nobody for not getting vaccinated. Disappointed, yeah, because of what I feel. We with this administration came in with an actual plan to bring down these numbers and get these numbers under control, and that's been done. Um, it's getting we've gotten back to a livable way of life, and it's like it's the to me it's more of, we can have our differences and have different opinions on different things, but it's like it's when it's the blatant dishonor of the truth, it's like um where it's like, dude, what every in 3 years, everybody who can what who the fuck, like that belongs in no debate. It belongs in no circle of wellness. Um, that's a control tactic, fear control tactic, and that does tie to our whole kind of way of being, where it's like it's greed and control and fear. Everything is fear based, man. Um, and that kind of brings me to the like, even talking about Dave Chappelle, is like I didn't feel I enjoyed the special, but also I can acknowledge and like hear, okay, what are the points that I didn't agree with? Like I don't agree with turf. Um, that is the same, that hate, that visceral hate, like when you to another group, is like that is the same thing that marginalized groups fight, is they is their lifestyle taken away from your life and your lifestyle and your way of living and your well-being, then it shouldn't matter to you what makes them happy and whole and healthy, right? Um, now, if this uh, this billionaire behind the scenes is writing bills just for themselves, that will the whole city have to live under. Is like, to me, that's more like, yo, what? Let's focus on that. Like gerrymandering and the people that make deals behind closed doors, is like, that affects our lives, man. It's the people with titles of president, that affects our lives, and it's like their words have to be held. They don't have the title of comedian. They don't have the title of elected. We didn't elect Dave Chappelle. We like to lead the nation, and make decisions on our life. We love Dave Chappelle because he dives into things and he thinks things out and he makes things into jokes. He what we say in comedy world, when I was doing stand-up, it's like you deconstruct and then you build things into to comedy, in a comedy viewpoint, to make it funny. And it's like, that's what he's doing. And it's like, have that energy to the people that are actually making judgments on our life. Like the judge that's in over that, what's the dude, like you're watching the judge who's over the case of Rittenhauer, or the kid that shot, murdered people in the street, and you're watching this judge systematically prepare for his release as it plays out. Like, that's where that energy of, yo, this is a judge. This person decides on people's lives, and he's obviously biased with his decision making. To have one thing be, whoa, saying people shot and murdered is calling them a victim is too much, but you can call them looters and rioters. That's cool. Like, even though they were never tried, there was never no conviction on them as doing such things, but you can refer to them as that, because that's not loaded. It's like the contradiction that lives with these judges, to me, is more important than playing the judge and ruling over a comedian's material, which you can disagree with, and there's parts of that special and specials to come, I'm sure, where you're not going to agree with it. You're gonna be like, man, man, that ain't right. And like, if you go through and yeah, the gender is fact. It is not fact. Like sex, the male sex and women's sex, you can say those, those are facts, but it's like, gender is, to me, is a social construct. But it's like, but also, we don't get the rule over what that social construct and who's on what end of the spectrum, and it gets wacky. And then we get away from real changes. Like, we get away from what's going to actually change our everyday life, though. Like, this conversation, this argument, is this really going to stop that billionaire from this next bill that's going to come down for the next voting cycle, where we see some bill that came out of nowhere, like the IRS bill, where it's like, we got to report all the banking at $600, and it's like, but why we can't construct a bill that goes that actually addresses the billionaires? We can't get that done, but we're going to push something else towards the working class people and force them to do more, take more out of their paychecks. It's like, to me, is that's where the energy goes, where it's like, making things, we don't need to do more and take more and abstract more from the American public. We still have corporations and charter schools that don't pay their debts, that don't pay their taxes. You fix that, that creates a streamlining income for the government, for funding. But it's like, but they also are in the ear of our elected officials. They're like, yo, we don't want that. And our government can't stand up to them at this point, because they don't have enough of Um, we call the untouchables. Hey, we have a dire need for having politicians that are untouchables, where they actually check our corporations, and they you know they're the governing body over all, like not governing body over the public, and then treat the corporations like they're on the same level as the government. It's like, what do you think? Cool, man. I'm gonna get your take, and you can write this bill if you want, and then send it to me, and then I'll try to sell this to American people. You know what? I'm not going to really sell it well, but they don't really have a choice. But we're just going to do it anyway. That's how our bills have been working. Like that tax code in 2018, that wasn't for us. Like, and if you love 45, he don't give a fuck about you. That tax bill was supposed to be for his people, and it's not white people, it's not black people, it's for his people that he running his circle. So it's like to be bamboozled and baffled. Like this dude is not for the working class people, man. That's I'm impartial with that. Him and his and what is. I don't say I'm impartial, but it's like I'm not getting into the emotional aspects of it. It's just literally what you see, like calling his people in like the January 6th, like the dude was all to not to pretend like he wasn't involved in feeding off that. It's a lie. It's a farce. We all saw it with our own eyes. Like the dude was feeding off of them being there as they chanted things like murder his own vice president. Those are facts, and there are no alternative fact. Those are facts, and it's like it's those things where it's like we can't even hold basic. We can't even have basic accountability when we saw what the dude was actually not manipulated, not politicized and made to look demonized or made to look a certain way. No, he was really like, those my people. They fighting for me, and I'm gonna make them think I'm gonna get them off with what do you call it? I'm gonna make them like I'm gonna write them whatever, how you get people off of shit. And it's like um, um, I lost train of thought. But it's like it's those situations where it's blatant, man. Is if we blatantly had people involved with January 6th riots, and I think, and it's like the GOP, they can't just be like, yo, 20, 10, 15% of this caucus has to be let go. Like we might take a hit, but it'd be worth it for our party to be healthy. That there's some wacky people that are a part of this party right now, and we can't have them in office making decisions, talking like they are of healthy mind, body, and soul. Because the shit they be saying and the shit they be talking is obviously wacky as fuck. So we will all be better off without them in these halls. Like we really hold we really hold that to a higher standard. There's certain people that would be asked to step down and leave office. Like I don't get how the Democrats can be so like, get Kumo from New York, like yo, you gotta step down, man. You was doing some too much shit. And concede, but we don't hold that same standard with the GOP, where it's like they just keep steamrolling ahead. Where it's like it don't matter what's on record, what they've actually done, what they admitted to, they haven't admitted to. It's like it don't matter. They just keep going. Their party don't check them whatsoever, because they don't want to lose seats, because the seats are more important than to cleanse a party of the worst, the worst of the party. It's like the pruning of of whatever. It's like pruning a yard or something. It's like you obviously see people that abuse power beyond measure, where they were actually encouraging people to be violent, encouraging people to overstep, encouraging people to go past their just right of protest. Um, and it's like nobody gets held accountable, then we don't really move. We just move in this hot mess forward. And that's where I always say, like, watching that, the moment I heard alternative facts, it was like a precursor to where we're at right now. Um, I'm gonna close it on this. So back to essentialism, because there's the news, and it's gonna be fearful, be scared, be fearful, be scared. Like, that's all Tucker Carlson is about. Be scared, be scared. I'm gonna say some crazy shit, and you're gonna be scared 24/7. Keep that thing, keep this going. Like, somebody just likes to talk. That's why it's like people like that, they just like to talk, and they just keep you. Uh, it's like, man, dude, shut up. It's it's actually fear mongering, right? Like, the dude is prosecuted, is taken to court, and his own company says, like, oh yeah, nobody believes what he says, and then you got to question the judge, because, like, why would the judge rule that was a liable? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Nobody believes what he says, when that's obviously false. When you watch his ratings, all the people that listen to his opinions and what he says and all the wacky things he talks about, it's like, it's obviously false. People believe what he's saying, and they don't remember, because our short attention spans and our short-term memories and long-term memories are really fucked up. As a nation, we don't have good, like, we can't keep the thread, like, we can't keep things tied together. Like, so we can just bam and forget what just happened yesterday. It's very disturbing in that way, where it's like, y'all, how do you listen to a person that was taken to trial? His own company says nothing he says is legit. His own company, his own place he worked, says, we all, yeah, nobody believes what he's saying. And the judge, like, cool. Like, no, man, that he should be sued and taken off. It's like holding people that just spout, and um they create that fear mongering, man. They keep people in a state of fear and unhealthiness. Uh, that doesn't help nobody. Like, what are we building? That's where I'm saying, it's like, I'm a builder. I'm trying to work towards positive change, and contribute in that way. It's like, and there's people that feed off chaos. They need things to be chaos. They need things to be muddy. So they're hell bent on keeping things muddy, keep muddy the waters, because it only helps the people that are already in a position of power keep power. So we got to keep the water muddy. And that's and nothing, this is new, because that's always been politics. Is the person that do the most dirt, you are probably going to be muddy in the waters for everybody else, so you can keep shit going. And that's, even watching 45, it's like he kept everybody around him stressed the fuck out, overworked, um, and just, like, off balance. And it's like, that's his thing. It's like, I need people to feel, I need chaos, because then I feel at home. Like, everybody else is wigging out and stressing out, so I can be all right. And I think that's where it's like, you identify and try to build, like, we're building healthy communities, building healthy places of being healthy individuals. Um, we got to have disseminate between people that don't want that. Um, and, like, there's so many elections going on right now where people don't want a healthy society. They wanted chaos because they can get away with more. Like, and that's one thing to remember, when this outgoing party of like, where people forget, like the Tea Party is in charge of this, the fringe part of conservatism and GOP, like the fringes part of it now controls the whole. Um, and then you have the split of just the celebrityism, like celebrityism is what you can call it, where it's a reality TV star that parlayed that into the pulling apart of the party. So you got fringe that either control it, or you got a reality TV star that controls it. And where are the regular conservative people that just want a healthy, that truly do just want a healthy functioning society? Like they're lost in that middle ground. Um, and then you have the Democrats that are capitulating to this unhealthy party because they will lie and build you and destroy you. So you also you're playing with fire, that you have to work with people that are extreme, and they will say whatever. They don't care about your life. They don't care. They will destroy you and move on like they didn't do it, and keep it moving because they don't care. And I think that's part of and that might be some of the hesitation to really take the gloves off with the Democrats, because not only are they corporate, a lot of them are corporate, and they're tied to the same places that the GOP is tied to. That you have sensible, and you have people that don't give a fuck. And who usually wins when you have sensible, well-meaning people, and then people that do not care? They will say whatever. What I think one of the GOP people that's in office, might have been, not quoting me on this, Lindsey Graham or something, was like shoot, you have guns, shoot them. And it's like they don't care about actual people. Like we're numbers. We're on a sheet of paper and numbers to them. We're profit margins, and that's where the what we're fighting for. I do not like being a part of politics whatsoever. In that regard, I'm a mom's son, low key, like to keep to myself, do my own thing. Um, and politics is a beast. It's an awful place where religion gets lost, spirituality gets lost, well-meaning gets lost. Like it devours well-meaning, it devours good intentions, and that's our politics. Like politics in general, and it's almost like you have to fight just to keep yourself from being jaded, just to keep yourself from falling into that. Like, mother, I'm trying to do right, mother. That feeling of you're doing right, and you've been sucked into this muddying process, and it is whack. And that's where it's like, oh, that's the game. It's a game to these people. They don't like you can hear the what the Senator Cruz, or there's another person who will say whatever he needs to say. But it's that whole like you hear the speech over and over again, like they get the thing that they need to say, and it's like the what is that, the working class with the callus on their hand, the callus, and they work so hard. We do this for the working class, and they're full of shit. they're full of shit, right? The working class, and it's like, well, what about universal health care? The working class, but you what about more funds for mental health for people that are overworked and working two jobs? And the working class, but what about what we gotta, you're spurring people to protest, and they're losing their shit, and they're going to hospitals where nurses are overworked, and hospital staffs are being threatened and verbally abused, and you're still rallying and kicking up the dust and getting people like wacky. So they go to hospitals while people are trying to save lives, to protest against them trying to save lives. And like you're stirring that up. The working class is like, it's that kind of, it's toxic, man. Um, like politics is in its nature is a toxic work environment. And that's kind of what I've had to realize of the disturbing part of it, where you find yourself in that place where like this work breeds toxic um, interactions. Like everything's a play, everything's a slight, everything's a dig, everything's a spin, and it's like, so you're walking into that, and you better have a team that trusts you, that loves you, and that knows who you are and where you come from, because it's a nasty environment, and I think that's where you take your hat off to people that are well-meaning and really are for the people, man, that are trying to find a way. And it's like, because it's a we got to muddy this person up, like regardless of, it's not about really fixing the problems. It's just about muddying people up and keeping seats. um and it's only the people power that gets anything done. And that's where it goes back to, what are people focusing on? Essentialism. um a man or a woman without a focused life will drive them insane. And I think people like the Tucker Carlsons of the world know that. So it's like, so they're bent on keeping people out of their fucking mind. So it's like, you have to find ways to be sane, to ground yourself, and not fall for the tricks. You get into the vax and the anti-vax, and I'm fighting for my freedoms, and it's like, they they don't care about they're using the rebelness, that rebel spirit against you. um they don't actually care about that. Like they like we they're pushing profits. They're person in their ear is the person that's putting money in their pockets. They're telling you stuff, but they don't really care. And I think that's the part of it where you can't be too invested in either party, but you go back to, what are the records, man? What are politicians actually voting for? And is it actually what they say actually align with what they're voting for? And if not, you gotta go all in on getting them out. um, and seeing their history, like who gutted the budget, the Build Back Better plan. Like what next? What politicians can you fight for, um, to get in, or support, or to make sure that they're not by themselves fighting this fight, um, and they actually are for the good of all, um, and you get the media push to um, suppress things from changing. Like go back to things as they always were. And it's like, and the things that always were, when we really gotten into trouble, when it was our financial experts that led the government, and then we have the housing bubble, we have the recession. And it's like, and a lot of those were headed by, fully run by, like the GOP party. Like they had all the positions at the time. And it's like, and we've been ran into the ground, whenever they had complete power. And now it's like, in on their way out, it's another thing of, we want to make this country as ungovernable as possible, when they could do the opposite. But then that doesn't win elections. Like to help Democrats and get us out of the pandemic, they wouldn't win elections doing that. So that's not in their best interest to support any bill. And that's why they are in lockstep with each other. And we vote party line because it doesn't help win elections if the Democrats look good. Just like when 45 left and 46 came in, it's like they immediately put in a plan that worked, that brought the numbers down drastically. And you can't have that. So you had to stir something up. You cannot have the Democrats look that good. So you have to stir stuff up. You need the stories, you need the headlines, you need the craze. And then you go outside and you be like, it's not actually that bad out here. The mandates ain't really stopping me from living my life, really. I can come and go as I please. Like but if you watching Tucker Carlson, or you watching any of these pundits and the billionaires putting money into keeping you hypnotized on the bullshit, uh, then you follow it. And you're like, yeah, man, freedoms. And like, it's so unhealthy, man. So unhealthy. I'm gonna end it there. Honor what makes you feel whole, healthy, and happy. Um, and rest in peace to my auntie. Um, like, the reason I'm a mental health advocate is because of the things that my family and Black people go through, Indigenous people go through. Um, and it's personal, as we move forward into doing the things that we know are needed in society. Um, and it's important to remember that it's a game being played with our lives from people that do not care about our lives. And there are real politicians that are in office that actually do care about the well-being of human beings. Um, and there's some people that have sold themselves and them souls a long time ago. So all you can do is hold people accountable, put people in office that are real about the people, really about the people. Um, push the GOP, and find those conservatives that are really just the values, man. Just the back to the not back, but it's like we are all progressive and conservative. We all have things that we want change now and that needs to change now, and we all have things that are good for a stabilized society, and we support it. So it's like there are conservatives that are stuck in this muck of extremists of the Tea Party that came in and now they control the party. The celebrityism that's unhealthy because it's about policy. It's about what changes our environment, our world, and it's not about the celebrity presidency. It's not about and it's not even about the president. It's like there's so many local levels of government, and state levels of government, that you just focusing on a celebrity or focus on the president, then you're missing the whole thing. Like, you're missing gerrymandering, you're missing the rewriting and the zonings of cities and redlinings, and um, you miss the whole thing if you just focus on that one seat. And it's like, so you gotta focus on the main issues that aren't manipulated for you to be furious about. Because another thing is we get manipulated and coerced into, like, this is the thing that I am passionate about. And it's like, are you? I was told to be passionate about this. It's like that's where the education comes in. And it's like, and even that is the critical race theory, and banning it from the schools, and we got to make sure everybody, and it's like it's not critical race theory, it's just education. That's it. It's just, let's be more educated, so January 6th never ever happens again. And that's why we educate everybody without sterilizing, without watering down, without like omitting the true aspects of our history, of our American history. Is like, no, we just put it out there and not sensationalize it one way or the other. Like there was some dog shit stuff done, like to us, to our people, to this nation, to have this nation. We did some fucked up shit. Um, and that's just what it is. Like it's not sensationalizing one or the other. It's like this is what happened. This is how we got where we at. And we can make better decisions from knowing that. So with that, man, be safe, be well, and focus on what makes you feel whole, happy, and healthy. All right.